in a meeting as a woman in leadership, and you knew there was a topic that was being discussed, but you're wondering, ooh, I don't know if I should say something about it or not. Have you ever been in that situation? Many women in leadership and other individuals in leadership do this as well. And in this video, I have to tell you something. I have to be honest with you all, which I am all the time. But I want to share with you how you need to understand the cost of silence and how neutral leaders, those individuals that sit there quietly and don't say anything in meetings, how those are the individuals who tend to lose their influence with other people. Now, if this sounds like something that you have ever thought about and you've been a bit hesitant about saying something and speaking up in meetings, this video is just for you, and you absolutely want to stay until the end, because I'm going to share with you several insights to help you, one, understand why you do not want to be that person that stays silent all the time, and then two, to help you understand what can happen if you do stay silent. A lot of times on YouTube, people talk about this is what you should do, this is how you should speak up in meetings, and etc. But sometimes people are not discussing what really happens in your meetings with your business owners, in your organizations, in your companies you work for. They don't talk about what it's going to really cost you to be silent. So we're going to talk about that in this video today. Now, if you're watching this portion of the video, you are more than likely watching the replay. And I'm glad that you're here today. Give me just a few moments, because this is a live video. We're live streaming on YouTube. So what happens oftentimes is that there's a point in the live where people start to join. Give me just a few minutes so that I can introduce them to the live and say hello to everyone. And then we're going to go into that cost of silence that a lot of times people don't talk about. Now, if you like this information so far in terms of the topic itself, this is something that will automatically be very helpful to you as a woman in leadership, especially if this is something you're struggling with. So if you want to receive some customized support as it relates to this topic specifically, in terms of how to navigate these office politics, then look in the description below. There's a link to schedule a strategy session with myself, where we're talking about where you are and where you need to be as it relates to your career. Now, hello to those of you who are joining today. I appreciate you being present. And if you want to learn specifically as it relates to the cost of silence, specifically as you are a leader, and how this cost of silence can cause you to lose your influence, and you absolutely want to stay to the end of this video and perhaps subscribe to the channel if you like this information so far. So we have Mitchell Allen. Hello, welcome. Hope you're doing well today. Mitchell Allen says, what do you do? Sorry, just joined. Mitchell Allen, we are actually just getting started, so you have not missed anything, friend. Appreciate you being here today. What do I do? A great question. For me specifically, I am a certified executive coach. Specifically, I have been in different situations over the past 20 years. So I specifically focus on how to help women in leadership communicate under pressure in a confident way. Now, on my channel specifically, this is my audience that I communicate with in terms of my one-on-one coaching clients. However, on my channel as a whole, I have women in leadership and I have men in leadership that are a part of my audience also. And everything I'm sharing with you is over 20 years worth of expertise from me as a C-suite executive, a director, and a manager that will help you to stand out from your peers, especially how you're communicating. I focus on the hard conversation. So if you're looking to really elevate how you're communicating under pressure as a leader, whether you are a woman in leadership or a man in leadership, friend, this is the place for you to be. This is where you're going to learn a lot of information, especially here on this channel, that are real scenarios that actually happen. Many times when people are talking about situations that come up as it relates to how to communicate as leaders, they talk about it in the academic sense in terms of theories and hypotheses and etc. You will not hear that on this channel. And I appreciate the heart emojis and the congratulations little hats. Thank you for those. But this is what I do. So I specifically focus on helping leaders be able to communicate at a higher level than their peers. So I'm glad you're here. Let me know if you have any questions or any situations where you're just maybe felt like you didn't want to say anything in a meeting. Maybe you're dealing with some office politics. Let me know in the comments below. So we have Kayla Moran. Hello, Kayla. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well today. Let me know where you all are joining from in the big, beautiful world today. We have Munkbat Doljinajal. I'm sorry. I know I did not say that correctly. So I'm sorry, friend. I'm glad you're here. Let me know where you all are joining from in the big, beautiful world today. And let me know if you've ever had to deal with office politics, or maybe you've been in a meeting where you just felt like, I don't think I should say anything. Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you why the cost of silence is real, and how if you are a leader and you stay very silent in your meetings, it's going to cost you your influence. So you want to watch this video until the end. So let's go into it. The cost of silence. There are serious costs of silence. So if you are at your leadership level, whether you are starting out your leadership journey, maybe you are in the middle of your career, or maybe perhaps you've reached the C-suite level like myself. Maybe you are a C-suite, maybe you're executive, maybe you're in a different level. If you're wanting to learn why being silent in a meeting will hurt you, then absolutely subscribe to the channel. Hello to those of you who are on the channel right now. Welcome, welcome. Let me know where you all are joining from today in the big, beautiful world. Let me know in the comments below before we go into how you can be that person that stands out and feels more comfortable when you're speaking up in a meeting. So as I mentioned, there's a cost of silence. If you are trying to elevate yourself as a leader and you're trying to navigate office politics and those dynamics that come up in the wonderful world of leadership, being silent is going to cost you tremendously. So the first way being silent in a meeting will cost you in terms of your influence is that your silence, if it is not completed at a strategic time, and before I go into it, there are several videos on my channel that talk about silence, the power of silence, and etc. There are strategic times that you need to be silent, especially when you're trying to make a point. However, if there's a hot topic going on in a meeting and it's being discussed and you decide that you just feel like, oh, I don't want to say anything today, your silence sometimes can mean that you are agreeing with the topic, or you're disengaged with the conversation, or you're simply not interested. Why does this cost you? When people are looking for leaders, even when you are working with your peers or even with your coworkers or your direct reports, they're looking for someone that's engaged in a conversation. Therefore, if you decide that you know intuitively that you should say something, you know you need to say something, and you decide that I'm just not going to say anything, I'm going to just be hands off, and I'm just going to sit quietly and just wait, you're costing yourself your influence. You're not going to be able to influence other people as much as you'd like to if you're not the one that is speaking. So silence can cost you influence in the way that your silence could almost mean that you are agreeing with what is being said, or you're very disengaged. So you definitely don't want to do that. Now, my second strategy for you, or insight I would say, is another cost of silence that happens is when individuals are very silent in meetings and they don't say anything and they are the leaders. One other aspect tends to happen from time to time. And you may not think this is something that actually happens, but it really, really does. People cannot rally behind you, support you, if your silence simply is present all the time. If you are that person that feels like you want to be that neutral leader, you want to be that person that is in between, that's neutral. I'm just in the middle. I'm in the middle, and I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to go to the right. I'm not going to go to the left. I'm just going to go straight in the center. This, leaders, will cost you influence. Why is that? Neutral leaders are the individuals that often struggle with defining themselves and what's important to them. An example of this is if you look at many political leaders or public officials, or maybe even leaders in your organization, the individuals who do not stand for something or do not have an opinion about something are the individuals that people tend to overlook. So if you've ever been overlooked in a meeting or maybe in a discussion, think about, have I been a bit more vocal about a topic in the past? Or maybe have I just decided to stay silent? Because many times when you are overlooked in meetings, there's a certain amount of contribution in meetings in the past that you probably have not done. And when this happens, people start to think, well, oh, he doesn't have anything to say, we're going to continue with the meeting. Or she never has anything to say, so we're going to keep going without her, or we're going to keep talking and not acknowledge her. This is why people struggle with office politics. There's a certain amount of knowledge that people do not understand and do not know, that your silence can really cost you the influence in the room. So if you are that person that has always been in the middle, that doesn't want to say anything, that wants to be neutral, that doesn't want to offend anybody, you're going to lose your influence. And if you are watching this channel and you're subscribed to my channel, you know this is definitely not what I want to happen for you. I want you to be that person that stands out from everybody else. And oftentimes, leaders, you have to stand, in order to stand out, you have to stand for something. And if you don't stand for something, then you pretty much are telling everybody you just go with anything. And as a leader, this is not what we do. Leaders are very decisive when they need to be, when they have to make that point, depending on what the situation is, they have to be very decisive. So you have to be able to communicate and speak up. If you stay silent, it will cost you your influence. It will cost you your influence, and you're going to struggle. Now, I want to know from you, have you ever struggled with speaking up in meetings? Is this something that maybe you have had a problem with in the past? Let me know in the comments below if you're watching the live or you're watching the replay. Let me know if you've ever struggled with meetings speaking up. And if you have struggled with meetings and speaking up, tell me why. What are some things that go in your mind when you're in the meetings? Why do you feel like you don't want to speak up? There's usually something that's going on specifically that is causing you to feel like you don't want to speak up. And if you want to get some support with this, some more customized support, then let me know. I can only share but so much here with you on YouTube. If you're really ready to go to that next level and you're serious about communicating at a higher level and really being able to communicate confidently under pressure as a woman in leadership, then reach out to me for a strategy session in the description below. So we've talked about 2 insights so far as it relates to the cost of silence, why and how neutral leaders will lose their influence. One is your silence could indicate you are agreeing with a statement, you are disengaged, or you just don't really have an opinion on it. And then my second strategy or insight for you is to understand that if you are that neutral leader, that person that just doesn't want to say anything, you don't want to offend anybody, you just want to stay in the middle, you're not standing for anything, and people cannot rally behind you and support you if they do not understand what's important to you. This is extremely, extremely important. As I mentioned, you'll see political leaders all the time talk about this topic, that topic. You'll see those leaders that are just right in the middle. They're directly in the middle. And that's where people start to question them. Well, what do you stand for? So take these lessons I'm sharing with you. We see it every day in the media and in different outlets. You have to stand for something. Okay, you have to stand for something. There may be times where you have to strategically, maybe not in writing, say specifically what you stand for, depending on your political dynamic at your particular role or your business, or etc. However, leaders have to stand for something. Leaders have to stand for something, so it's very important for you to understand you have to speak up in meetings. And in order to do that, there has to be something that you're very passionate about and something that you really, really are trying to stand for. Third, we talked about the cost of silence in 2 insights. The third is if you don't stand for anything, then people can't support you, as I mentioned a moment ago. People can only support you and really be there for you if they know what you are standing for. If you stay silent in a meeting, you're pretty much saying that you're not standing for anything. And so when you need those allies in your meetings and etc., you cannot have access to them because they don't know where you are. Where does this person stand in their role? Now, before I go into a summary of what we talked about, I want to say hello to Violet Is Me. Welcome, welcome, friend. Hope you're doing well today. Let me know what part of the big, beautiful world you are joining from today. And have you ever struggled with speaking up in meetings? Let me know in the comments below and why you felt a bit hesitant to say anything in the meeting. Let me know. So we've talked about a couple strategies. So overall, the summary of this video is you need to speak up in meetings Be strategic with it and make sure this cost of silence does not impact your ability to influence others. If you're dealing with office politics and you are in some form of a leadership role in your organizations, in your business, in your companies, or etc., being able to navigate office politics is a part of your job. Now, I have many leaders that tell me all the time, I just want to lead my teams and I don't want to deal with the politics. Welcome to the wonderful world of leadership. I say that all the time to my one-on-one clients because ultimately this is a part of the leadership journey. And even though I know sometimes people think like, oh, politics is horrible. Politics is not horrible. It's not. It's just a matter of understanding and knowing how you need to communicate in order to navigate those challenging situations when you come up. And if this is something that you're struggling with, you absolutely should subscribe to the channel because I talk about ways for you to communicate at a higher level than your peers. We go over specific techniques, specific strategies that will help you to showcase not only your leadership skills in terms of how you're communicating at an advanced level than other people, but also how you are able to really inspire other people and influence them, which is very important, which is why you do not want to stay silent in meetings all of the time. So I hope this information has been very helpful to you all. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever struggled with speaking up in a meeting in the past, because I know this is a challenge for many individuals that are in my direct client base in terms of women in leadership that I work with. I know this is something that people struggle with. However, you don't have to struggle with this. Take my mistakes that I have made and the very lessons I've learned over the past 20 years as an executive coach, as a C-suite executive, a director, a manager, a public speaker, to help fast track your career as you are transitioning to that next level of leadership. Sometimes people wonder and they struggle and they say, well, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to say it. Well, you need guidance and you need some support. You need mentorship. So this is what I'm here for. If you want some more in-depth support customized to you to really help you truly elevate in your career, then that's what a strategy session is for. The link is in the description below. But if you are at a point where you just want to get some guidance, just some insight in terms of really how to navigate these very challenging situations come up, then that's why you're here on my YouTube channel. There's a lot of content here that talks about the pillars, I would say, to helping you communicate at a higher level than your peers. Your eye contact, your tone of voice, your facial expressions, all of these are very, very important as it relates to how you are communicating in front of other people. So if you're trying to master this and you know you have maybe a big message, you have a big goal, a big vision you're trying to accomplish, and you just want to go to the next level, then take a look at my live content. I'm here live Tuesday through Fridays. I'm live in the morning, live in the evenings for the time being, and I'm here really to support you on your journey. So if there's anything specifically that comes up for you that you want to learn more about, maybe there's a situation that happened to you and you're struggling with it, or you're not quite sure of maybe how should I have handled this as a leader, could I have done something differently, then let me know in the comments below. I will do a video just for you, friends, and give you a shout out in the video if you'd like for me to. Just let me know. And I'll talk about whatever it is specifically that you've dealt with. I typically am the person where individuals come to for the hard situations, the hard scenarios, the very difficult conversations that people don't want to talk about or they don't know how to navigate. And so feel free to let me know. I've seen a lot, done a lot. As I mentioned, I've been able to not only see a lot as a C-suite executive and as a director and as a manager, but I've interacted with several congressional leaders over the years on the federal and on the national and on the state level here. So I'm here to help you learn from my experience that will help you to fast track and go to that next level and stand out from all the other leaders just by watching and learning and mastering some of the techniques and strategies I share with you here on this channel. So there's a couple things that are going on, as I mentioned to you all previously, and if you're still watching, I'm glad you're still here. I'm just wrapping up the live, but I do want to provide you all with a couple of updates that are going to be happening here very soon on my channel. As I mentioned to you previously, there's a lot of activity you're going to notice here within the next month. You'll end up seeing a bit more shorts on my channel that'll come up a little bit more often. You're also going to see a few more playlists. So if you maybe have a topic that you really like and you want to learn more about, I plan on making a playlist on my channel. So just stay tuned. I will make sure when I do these changes to the channel, I will absolutely send it to you all via post on the communities tab, so you know what's going on, so you can maybe take a look at the playlist and gather information that may help you specifically on your journey. So there's going to be a couple playlists that you'll see. You will also see a playlist of executive presence in action. So many of you have talked about this, and I mentioned this on the video. There's times on the lives where the lives are friendly, and there's times on the lives when people say really inappropriate and offensive topics or statements. I decided that for these situations, I'm going to plan on either doing a short or doing a shorter video, because I want you all to understand that mastering these very under pressure type situations, even being live on YouTube, because you literally are in front of the entire world, there's a way that you can handle it to where you still remain calm, you still remain in control of the situation, and you still are presenting yourself and showcasing your executive presence. Many people ask me, and a lot of my clients ask me, and even individuals that are not my clients, that are not in my target audience specifically, they ask me, well, how do you learn how to communicate under pressure? Like, what do you do? How do you do it? Oftentimes you have to be in the middle of it. There's a lot of different skills that you just have to learn how to master. And then you get support from myself as an executive coach to help you put everything together. Often, this is what people hear. But sometimes I truly believe that you just need to see it in action. You'll see many times on my live where people have said things that have been really inappropriate. And I want you all to see how I manage it, so that, and I'm hoping that when you see how I manage it, this is how I am in real life. Now, you see people a lot of times on YouTube, they may be one way on camera, but in real life, they're totally different. No, leaders, this is how I am. I handle situations just like this every single day. And if you can take anything out of the maybe more contentious conversations I've had here on my lives that can help you structure your message, if you have a contentious situation or a more challenging, under pressure, like high stakes situation happen to you as a woman in leadership, or if you're a man in leadership watching this also, then my mission here is completed. I really want you all to learn as much as you can. So I'm going to have a specific playlist. I don't know what I'm going to title it just yet, but specifically it is going to say something along the lines of executive presence in action, or how to handle rude comments or offensive comments, and etc. So I'm going to do that because I believe that it's going to help you all to learn and start picking up not only what I'm sharing with you, but seeing how I'm managing these situations in real time. Because this is a live stream and it's not edited. We're not able to edit live streams at the moment. There's you can record it on another platform, but ultimately I'm live. I'm here with you all, and when these situations come up, I have to handle them quickly, very quickly, so I can make sure I create a very good experience for my audience. And I just want to say I appreciate you all for being here and being so supportive of the channel. The channel is growing quite a bit, and I'm really, really thankful and really just grateful to you all being here, grateful to God just to have the opportunity to be here with you right now. This has been a very challenging year for myself and my family, and just to be here with you all and to engage and interact with everyone here has been just a huge highlight of the year. So I appreciate you being supportive, and I appreciate you just being present on the lives. You all have helped me to be recognized by YouTube, and we've been doing so many lives that YouTube recognized me doing so many lives, and they've invited me to be a member of their live streamer research panel for the next year. So I'm helping YouTube to shape the way live streaming will function and operate in the future, and all of it has to do with a lot of you and being present and being here on my channel and supporting me and providing some really great insight. We've had some amazing conversations here on the lives, and the lives are so much fun. We talk about a structured topic, but then there's other things and other topics that sometimes we are discussed. We've talked about Bitcoin. We've talked about multiple streams of income. We've talked about dropping off kids. We've talked about what kids do sometimes, as parents that make us a little concerned and how we can navigate it. So there's a lot of things that we've discussed, and I just appreciate you all so much for being here and being present. And if you have any questions, feel free to support me. You're always welcome to follow me on Instagram at Excite Excellence, and on LinkedIn at Excite Excellence is my business page, and then my personal page on LinkedIn is at Dr. Jacinta Lamantine. So you're welcome to follow me there, follow my content there. I've been a bit slower on the content on the LinkedIn and Instagram side here recently because I've been so busy with clients. And so I will be picking that up very soon. I'll be picking up pre-recorded videos back again very soon also. And then I will be launching a podcast, hopefully by the end of Q4, hopefully. So I hope to see you all in the next video. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know, and I will see you then. Bye for now.